She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gaspacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal is shy?
These got me buzzing.
Up the Toffies. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm gonna comment on that.
Welcome back to Footy with the Boys. We have a hell of an episode. We appreciate Nick being here. He is going through a hard time as a Gunners fan today. We have made that worse because we realized about 5 minutes into recording this episode that we were not recording this episode. So this is our second run through. We are going to be getting into the title race again. Update you on the explosive changes, more explosive than a Taco Bell bathroom. We have our big six frauds that are going to be coming out. It is Tottenham, Newcastle, and Manchester United. We have our Toffee talk with Mike over here. We're getting into what will be a big game in our relegation scrap tomorrow versus a Chelsea team that, quite honestly, is the biggest variable in football right now. You have no idea what they're going to go out there and do. They can make some amazing attacking plays and then absolutely shit the bed. Most likely, they will do a bit of both. And then we get into the big news and headlines of the day. But there are no headlines that are quite as big as some of the matches that happened today because they absolutely rocked the title race, like I mentioned. One of those being shown here on the screen already. Arsenal versus Aston Villa. 2-0 to Aston Villa off of two very late goals. Nick, what went wrong today? What was wrong with Arteta's game plan? And is the season over? There's 6 matches left. It's a 2-point gap.
I hate that I have to do this again.
I would like to make
cry.
a public apology. He just went through this whole speech
Let the tears stream, Nick.
5 minutes ago.
Good for views.
I actually want to cry. I can't believe. For our viewers, you do not understand like the emotion I just went through off camera. Apparently, just to have to do this all over again. I come to you boys with a heavy heart today. I come to you with bad tidings. I'm here to call it. I know what logic says. There are 6 games left. We're in a tied fixture in Europe to be kings of Europe. Anything can happen. It's the Premier League. I understand all of it. But I know what my heart says. And my heart today is saying it's over. And it was a hell of a season. But it's done. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 2 at the Emirates. I can't believe this is happening again. I can't believe this is the second time I have to do this. It's bad, boys. I'm down bad. I said it earlier, but I love this podcast. I love doing this. I don't want to be here today. I hate having to be here. I hate having to talk about this game. And I hate to point fingers because it's been a phenomenal season. The composure, the flexibility, the tactics, the moments that people have stepped up. It's been incredible to see it go down like this against one slick-haired, receding hairline son of a bitch who's saying good evening. Oh, God. I know I can't talk about hairlines, but goddamn, what's going on with that dude's hair? But Jesus Christ, it's bad. It's over. It's over. It's over. And it's over not because, there's no more games. It's over because there's 115 charges ahead of us. It's not 2 points. It's 115. And I don't foresee them dropping points. And today was bad. It was supposed to be good. Liverpool, dropped points. I'm sure we'll get into that, but it just doesn't matter anymore because we've talked about the word inevitability, and it sure feels like that is what's going to happen. Arsenal, with a poor showing today, actually looked good in the first half, I guess. I don't even remember the first half anymore. Trossard should have scored. Way to hit Martinez's leg. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh God, it's so bad. We'll start with what went wrong. We'll start with what went wrong today, and then we'll talk about the big picture. I think there's only one man to blame for today, and that's Mikel Arteta.
He's done a hell of a lot for us. A lot. He's dragged us out of the mud. We were the butt of every joke, and rightfully so. Now we're the butt of every joke, and people are just mad. But we're a real club again. But rightfully so. We were horrible. Worst period of our club's history. He brought us out of it. But in a game where you need to have 3 points against a good team, by the way. I mean, not to take anything away from Villa. I didn't think they were great today, but they were definitely good and better than us in the second half. You know, we've had something that's been working, and that's Kai Havertz at the 9. That's Jorginho and Declan in the midfield. That's Kivior at the left back. I understand Kivior got cooked by Leroy Sané at the midweek. You know who else has been cooked by Leroy Sané? Like 75% of Europe. It's okay for him to get cooked once. Don't drop him out of nothing. You put in that Ukrainian fuck. Oh my God. Never have I been more anti Joe Biden than the relief that we are sending to Ukraine because of that.
Oh my God.
Never in my life. Congratulations. I can't believe that we are funding the country that man is from. Get out of my club.
Good God.
And you know what? It's not his fault. It really isn't. It's not Zinchenko's fault because we know who Zinchenko is. He's a fucking moron. He's not a defender. He's been playing left back for Pep, and guess what? They shipped his ass out, and now we got him. And he can't defend. He's proven it time and time over again. Last year, he gets megged twice at Liverpool to fuck our title charge last year. How in the world are you now taking out Kivior? We've looked so composed in the back, or at least put Tomiyasu in. Like, an actual defender. Gabriel is on an island on his own every time down that flank. Zinchenko can't defend. Yes, he wins an occasional header. Yes, he has technical ability that's incredible, but he should not be anywhere near our starting 11. Give him 15 minutes if you're down a goal. Fine, I don't care. But that is not what he should be being played as. Play him as a center mid. You can start him at the left center mid spot. Fine with that. I don't give a shit. But at left back, he is a liability. And again, it's not his fault. It really isn't, because Arteta should know that. And I get he's your boy, and I get you bought him, and I get Gabby Jesus is your boy. But guess what? Gabby Jesus didn't do shit today either, aside from miss a header. Okay, so it's not you. He went back to those two guys who really marked a change in Arsenal's culture when we bought them. And I understand having faith in your boys, but look at what they do. Be realistic, and that starting 11 cost us. His game management was poor. I thought the substitutions were poor. I don't know. What's the one thing we know about Aston Villa boys? What's the one thing we know about their play style? What does their backline do?
Attack.
They're the highest line in the league, aside from Tottenham, and their fullbacks bomb down the wings. And now you want to play like this short tiki-taka game with Trossard and Jesus in the middle? Like, what are you doing? Jesus doesn't have legs anymore. He used to have legs, sure, but he doesn't anymore. His leg is fucked. Everyone's talking about how he's playing with pain. Good for him, but that doesn't mean that you start him in this game. Gabby Martinelli's the fastest goddamn player in the league. How are you not using him to exploit the game the entire time? When we needed an outlet in the second half, well, Kai Havertz is in the midfield, and God bless him, he tries hard in the midfield, but he's a 9 for us. That's just what he is, and he plays pretty well there, and he's been playing pretty well there for us for quite some time. In fact, you could say 4 months he's been playing well as a 9. Just to drop it now makes absolutely no sense to me. Poor game management, and we deserve to lose. We deserve to lose because we were pinned in that second half, nowhere to go with the ball. What pisses me off, not what pisses me off, what hurts me. I'm really not mad today. You guys said I'm mad. Maybe I'm mad at Ukraine. I'm not mad today. Okay.
Good God.
What I'm mad at, I am hurt at what is. And then when you look at Arteta's post-game press conference, oh God damn it! I've been giving Ten Hag shit all year. He says we've won 10 games in a row in the league or whatever it is. Haven't lost 10 games in a row in the league, whatever it is. In most other leagues, that gives you an 11-point lead, but not when we're in this league. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who gives a shit what happens in a... What do you mean? This is where you're at. Now you're talking about, oh, boo-hoo, we should be up top of the league because we're in good form? That's not the reality.
Crazy.
What the hell are you talking about? I've been shitting on this bald-headed dumbass over in Manchester the whole goddamn season for pointing fingers. And then when people question his decision, like I'm doing right now, of Trossard starting over Martinelli, they're like, why do you start him? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, because I'm the manager and I make the lineup. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? He's insane. Ugh. He did say one thing that I thought was good. You know, we're down bad, and you know, now's the time to prove what kind of mind you have. Are you going to crumble away? Are you going to make City earn it? Show what you are. Are you going to advance in Germany? So, as shit as I feel right now, I'm not losing sight on the whole season. It's been a good year. I don't think we're winning this title. I don't think there's a race anymore. I don't think Man City is going to lose. I really don't. I think they're going to win 6. That's if you ask me how I feel, that's how I feel. Okay, I don't think Man City is going to lose. I don't think Arsenal and Liverpool stand a chance. And when you look at Arsenal's schedule, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man U still to play. What from today shows you they're picking up 9 of those points? You know, it's a tired squad. It's not being managed poorly, or it's not being managed well, I should say. I mean, you know, focus on Europe, I'd say, but now we have City or Real Madrid waiting. If we could somehow break the curse at the Allianz, I mean, it's a bad day. Palmer, if you tell me we're not recording, I swear to God, I'm gonna drive to Denver and shoot you.
We are recording. I would like to say, I think you went through all 5 stages of grief there.
That was the rant that I was waiting for the entire day. There was bargaining, there was depression, there was denial, there was so much.
I don't even think I
on there.
ranted. I don't even think I ranted, if I'm being honest.
I'm going to
Sure you
confirm
did.
that you did. So I think that is every Arsenal's feeling is you guys certainly had some chances. There was good chance creation, but it was almost the same situation, Mike, as Liverpool, where there were chances and they didn't put them away. I think Liverpool's were a lot more glaring. Watching Liverpool versus Crystal Palace was a heart attack every 30 seconds. Both sides could have scored. This game should have ended like 5-4, and either team could have been on top of that 5-4 result. Liverpool certainly missed some opportunities, but they really should have been down 2-0 if it were not for Andy Robertson with a clearance off the goal line to save Virgil van Dijk's image in Liverpool. He had an iconic slip that allowed Crystal Palace through. That could have been the goal that killed Liverpool and their title charge. Instead, Andy Robertson saves it, and they have the chance at the comeback. And they have multiple tap-ins from about 4 yards out every single time. Nathaniel Klein, Mitchell, Dean Henderson, everybody is getting some type of foot, hand, anything on it that is blocking it away from the goal line. And Liverpool cannot break through at all. It ends 1-0. They lose. They go down to 3rd place in the table. Mike, is the luck just running out? For so long, they were going down, and they were able to create so many chances that they were putting them away. When the finishing boots aren't on, you cannot allow yourself to be at a deficit, and you certainly cannot allow your finishing touch to go away. Like Nick said, you are now fighting a Man City team with a 2-point lead with only 6 games to go. And out of the 3 schedules, Manchester City's is certainly the easiest. Is there still a hope for Liverpool? This is a draw and a loss in their last 2 games. 6 games left, down 2 points, and the lowest on goal differential as well.
Yeah, this was, major catastrophe. Arsenal's down bad with what happened today, but Liverpool's completely falling apart, and it's been a couple weeks now that we've seen it. They have much less hope in my eyes than even Arsenal does, because we saw what happened in the midweek at Anfield against the pretty weak Atalanta side, who shit on them 3-0, just domination, and they carry that into this week. And yeah, Crystal Palace could have scored several times. Dean Henderson was amazing for them. Blocked a lot of goals, surefire goals, but Alisson had to save them for Liverpool's side a few times. You talked about Robertson's goal line clearance. The way they've been playing all year, it's risky football. They get high up the field and they let in goals, and they count on their attackers to bail them out, and they just haven't been able to do that the last couple of weeks. Darwin Núñez has been really off the money. Salah's been less involved than usual. And they are just not finding someone to win games for them. There were a number of players who could have done it today. Curtis Jones had a glaring one in the late 70th.
That was bad.
It was terrible. Completely missed the goal. Didn't even get it on frame. He just shook in his boots and didn't have any sort of composure. So when nothing's coming from your star players, from the guys that you can rely on, it's really hard to get it done. And I can't help but feel us, all three of us, all the other Premier League fans out there should have seen it coming. We should have known what Man City was and where they'd find themselves this point of the year. I tricked myself into believing that it was either Liverpool or Arsenal season, mainly because I didn't want to see Man City win again. Like, fuck them. I hate them. They're so bad for the league. They represent everything I don't like in football. And it's just happening again, dude. The money is winning. The biggest players are winning. And the real competitors, the historic clubs, are just falling short once again. It's really sad to see.
Yes, it is very sad to see it. And Liverpool certainly, it was maybe a matter of we should have seen that if you're going down 1-0 in every single game and having to be bailed out, maybe we can see that, yeah, maybe that's not a winning strategy. Obviously, Arsenal was a bit more dominant. Liverpool just had the composure and the magic. But Nick, if it does make you feel any better, I will shout you out. You said on our last pod that you could certainly see Liverpool dropping some points here. They certainly do here. And I think this shows a bit of what's wrong with really everything in terms of the Premier League at the moment and Manchester City, 115 charges like Nick aforementioned. It is a 2-point lead with 6 games left. If you were to say that in any other league, in the Premier League, before Manchester City rose to their insane amount of power, you would say it is a 2-point gap at the top of the table with 3 teams in it. 6 games left. This is going to be a hell of a ride. Who knows who will come out on top? With Manchester City, I mean, the only reason they were at a lower spot is because their star player, Kevin De Bruyne, was injured half the season. Rodri missed some games due to injury and suspensions. Haaland has been not in insane form. All of that has come together now for Manchester City, and they have the advantage. It is not something that you could reasonably think that Manchester City is going to drop any points in the final 6, because that is what they have proven to do. Nick, they had another convincing win, 5-1 versus Luton Town this weekend. Remaining games for them: Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Fulham, Tottenham, and West Ham. What of those teams, if any, pose the biggest chance to take some points away from Manchester City and save the footballing world from what is the Thanos of football?
I mean, like, if it was November Spurs, but I mean, business end of the season, it's not going to be Spurs. I mean, come on.
It's at
And
Tottenham.
business end of the season, Man City doesn't lose. Who cares? Flags, it's over. Didn't you hear me? We're done. It's over, man. Like, they're gonna win 6 games in a row, and it's not gonna fucking matter what I say here, what you say, or oh, there's still no, there's still nothing. It's over. It's over. They won. They're dominant. They won 5-1, and it's done. You know, we shit the bed again. That's what happened. So it's over.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just felt like you had the lead. You knew Man City was quicker man in the race. But if you stumble over that hurdle, as both Liverpool and Arsenal did, there is no catching back up once Man City has the lead. They have that closeout speed that just cannot be matched. Mike, is there any chance that maybe a West Ham or a Fulham can provide some type of shocking result? Those seem like the 2 teams that usually hit us with random games where they can pull something off. Do you see that happening at all here, or is it truly just chalked up?
I mean, maybe, man. But before this weekend, I would have said Spurs have a chance because it's at Tottenham, and then look what the fucking Spurs did. So I don't think so. I think the race is run. I think Nick said it. It seems inevitable. Count them up.
It is a sad day. It is a bad day
So
over
sad,
here at
bro.
Footy Boys. Mike, you did mention the team that I guess could hopefully lighten the blow once again for Nick. He did predict that Liverpool might drop points. He also is an avid Spurs hater, as Arsenal fans are, and they got absolutely smacked around by Newcastle this weekend. I mean, God, they did not look close in this one. 4-0. Mickey Van de Ven gets sent for an absolute hot dog. He is skating like his name is Apollo Antonono, choking away potentially the Champions League. I mean, Newcastle now find themselves in the driving seat for Europa League. Nick, you are taking this one, so I hope you get on camera soon. But what did you see from Tottenham and Newcastle? They're now back-to-back on the table.
Is his middle name Anton?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Apollo
Are you
Antonono.
sure?
I thought you made that
Brother,
up.
if you...
I thought you made that up,
no,
bro.
brother. I thought that was common knowledge. I'm not gonna lie.
I know Apollo Ono.
Yeah, we need a fact check, Palmer. We need it just to make sure. Killed me. Apollo Anton. Is it Apollo Anton Ono? It is. Okay.
What can
Good
I
stuff.
say? I know my stuff.
Nice little one there. Thank you for the joy on this day, Flags.
I appreciate it.
It was supposed to be a good day, man. Look at that scoreline. 4-0. 4-0. Spurs doing Spursy things. Yeah, I mean, Villa's 3 points ahead now. Tottenham has a hell of a schedule to play. They have to play all of the top three. That is a brutal schedule to go. Newcastle, I mean, there's 10-point difference, so Tottenham's going to finish fifth. But I mean, come on, that was a horrible game. Mickey Van de Ven, welcome to the meme club, buddy. Some of the things I've been seeing on Twitter this weekend have been tough to see if you're a Spurs fan. So, Newcastle looked incredible. Alexander Isak continues to be a silky scoring machine. What a player that man is. Yeah, I mean, Tottenham are Tottenham. That's who they are. They're going to let you down. They're going to let me down when they play City. And then they'll get a draw against us as well. Like, that's just, I know what Tottenham is. They're not serious. They're the thorn in Arsenal's side. They're the little brother that never fails to annoy, but that you can always laugh at. So, very, very pleased that they lost. It's, I was ecstatic Saturday. It's just hard to find that emotion again today. But yes, they're atrocious.
Yeah, I'm sure the Spurs fans were hoping Arsenal could bail them out with a win against Aston Villa. Aston Villa punishes Spurs even more. And Mike, that win by Newcastle also punishes Manchester United, dropping them down to 7th place, not in that 6th place position, and facing West Ham right on their heels. I will say that Manchester United do have quite the schedule coming up here of Sheffield, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. So I'm sure that they will not exactly be going up against the highest test of their abilities. But as we see here, they got a lucky 2-2 draw versus Bournemouth. It has been 32 games of us talking about how shit Manchester United is and how they should be better. And it happens again. It happens again this weekend versus Bournemouth. I hope in week 33, 34, and 35, when they play these teams, a team in Burnley that passed a ball into their own net under their keeper's leg, a team of Sheffield who let in like 9 goals in a single game and almost does that every game with how shaky they are defensively. I hope that we can say that they can play well against them. But this week is not that week, Mike. Is there any analysis other than that Manchester United just still suck? And that 7th position is like the Cheeto as your lock in the door meme. That is the loosest 7th place position that I have ever seen. There is no way that stands. If West Ham, if even Chelsea can find any type of the form that they have players for it, I don't have any faith in Manchester United staying up there, and somehow they're still there. what is going on at Manchester United right now? Because a 2-2 draw versus Bournemouth, in the old days, your manager is out if they've looked this shit. Erik ten Hag is in there, and I don't even think his seat is that hot. I think it's cooled down. The flame has been burnt.
Yeah, I mean, is there more to say? Not really. It's the same shit that we've been talking about for weeks, 100%. What I would choose to focus on are the respective managers. Andoni Iraola won Manager of the Month back in March. Bournemouth has been on some fantastic run, undefeated throughout that month and playing fantastic. So shout out to them. All the credit in the world. Man U, dumpster fire. I'm not sure if you guys saw this clip. Ten Hag's interviewed after the game, and a reporter asked him, "Are you aware that this is Man U's worst position in the Premier League history if you finish here?" He said, "Oh, this is not important. I will not answer this question." Like, come on, dude. Is your ego that important to you? How much? Yeah, he gets up and walks out. Like, how can you have any ego left after what you've been through these 2 years? He's a clown. I get there's injuries in that back line. It's a shit back line. They're starting Kambwala at center back due to lack of options. But the investment you have in and out of that squad compared to some of these teams that you're not getting results against, that's not a valid excuse. So let's close the door on Man U permanently. And if they finish in 7th or 8th, that'd be pretty amusing. Maybe dampens Nick's pain just a little bit.
I will say,
Prize.
one thing that did bring the tiniest smile to my face was shout out to United Trey on Twitter, but he like retweeted
Oh, I did see this tweet.
Did he like retweeted something about Dominic Solanke? Did you guys see that? Where Solanke
that's
was
not the tweet I'm even speaking of.
No.
Solanke was like, "Yeah, we're really disappointed with the result. Like, we love beating these guys." United Trey's like, "What the hell's happened to Mike Solanke?"
We're disappointed. Tying Man U.
Yeah. What was the tweet you were talking about, Flex?
Let me try and find it here. He was.
But yeah,
They were
Man
saying
U.
something about.
Man U looked bad, and referee decisions went their way, and they still looked bad. I think, if that last call, that last free kick that was given to Bournemouth, that was reversed, it was a penalty. I don't know how you can reverse it. The contact starts outside of the box, but definitely continues into the box. So I was surprised by that. And then that handball was such a bull. That was not a handball. I don't know how you saw it, Trace, but that was. I mean, they were lucky to draw this game again. Again, they were lucky to get a point. I mean, they're bad. It'll be a fun day when we do like their whole year-end review. But you guys are right. There's really nothing else to say. They have to fire him, and they have to sell like half those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did find the tweet here. It was Frank de Boer's quote that he was commenting on. Frank de Boer said, "Most of the time, Manchester United." I'm not at this point, but I will just read it out. It is most of the time Manchester United play below average football, and he says below average. Stop lying on my club's name. It is much worse than that, which I think just describes their exact state. It is not. It is not. It is not just a poor performance by them. It is god awful every weekend. And speaking of god awful every weekend, it is the experience of an Everton fan. It is painstaking this weekend against another fan base that has been tormented by just the least consistent team with the highest wage bill that you could probably imagine. It is Chelsea versus Everton, a battle of the Blues. Mike, run us through what you want to see here from an Everton side, what you expect to see, and this is now, after another point deduction, back into a big relegation scrap. What can we get out of this? What are you okay with us getting out of this? Is a draw what you're looking for?
Dude, it wasn't a bad weekend by any means because we didn't lose this weekend. We have to wait till Monday to get that news. So pretty joyful weekend for me. I have higher expectations, dude. We on a small string of games here, and we should be inspired by the deduction again. Can Sean Dyche leverage that? We are. Two.
Drawn a win.
Yeah, that's what
Alright,
we go
alright.
for, Nick. Sorry we can't be high and mighty like your Gunners.
Shut up.
Dude, I want to win here. I think we could do it. We just need to see one go in. I think we can hold Chelsea to 0 goals. Really think we can do it. So, Dom, find some piece of shit that goes in the back of the net. Chase down the goalie. Do a corner kick that gets bounced around a million times. Find a way to put it in. It's not going to be pretty, but a 1-0, I'll take that all day.
Yeah. I will say that I think that an Everton low block versus this Chelsea team that
They'll
struggles to be clinical is maybe exactly how you stop a Chelsea side that usually works off of penalty goals and creating a shit ton of chances on the break. Maybe Everton can help out their stakes this weekend. Some other teams were looking to help their stakes out this weekend in the Premier League. We go to our Premier League score cleanup here. Nottingham Forest were certainly trying to help themselves out. They end up getting a draw here versus Wolves. I would think that maybe they would have wanted a little bit more out of this. They had a good amount of chances in this game. They certainly seem to be the ones taking it to Wolves. I think the issues persist for Nottingham Forest that they allow chances that a professional soccer team allowing is ridiculous. Yates comes in as a second defender on Cunha on the first goal, and his shadow playing him just allows him to dribble past the defender. The other defender, probably thinking, hey, I have support right there, allows the man to dribble directly past him into the box where he should run into Yates and the other defender. No, it is just directly in, a beautiful finish.
That goal was disgusting.
I will say, there was a good corner taken in this game that we'll get into in the U.S. men's national team corner, but really some wonderful service by Nottingham Forest there. Really good there. 1 point, though, maybe disappointing they don't get the win. Very important in the relegation scrap because that does put them 1 point above Luton Town, so gets them still to that safety zone, and it is no longer just off of goal differential. Fulham pulls off a surprising 2-0 win over West Ham this weekend. Fulham continues to just be the rabbit in the hat. You just don't really know how it happens, but they pull out random shit all the time, and you just don't know what you're going to expect, whether it'll be down 3 goals to Sheffield or getting a win against a West Ham side that seems like maybe they'll turn it around. You never know what to expect over there. Brentford, the Bees are buzzing again. They get their win versus Sheffield. I said that it'd be very sad if they didn't. Whew. They finally get a win here. Gets them a little bit more comfort. They're up to 32 points, so 7 points clear of that relegation line. And then we
Back-to-back
have
games. No Ivan Toney in the roster. No appearance in the starting lineup or off the bench. Not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I bet you would not know.
Didn't he play?
No, I don't believe he did.
Thought he got subbed on. I'm pretty sure he got subbed on.
Well, sub.
No.
I don't think
Oh
he
no,
did.
that was Sade. Yeah, that was Sade with the assist, not Tony.
Yep.
Yikes.
Ivan Toney washed? Question mark? And then we close with a goal that I'd already mentioned. It is Brighton versus Burnley with a 1-1 draw. Burnley certainly could have used 3 points here. That would have helped them out in any chance they have getting out of the relegation zone. But I believe this one showed exactly why they will get relegated. The goal they allowed was a ridiculous back pass that goes directly under their keeper's leg into the net at a slow roll pace. It is one of the most embarrassing goals that I think I've seen in the Premier League history. Like, it was a tough watch. It makes me feel bad for Burnley because I'm sure that their fans, after an amazing championship season last year, would be expecting a bit more than a comical error in their season. But here we are at this point. Vincent Kompany will have some work to do in the championship next year. Also, just a touch point on the championship next year, Sheffield, they are going to have a point deduction waiting for them in the championship. It was announced that once they get relegated, that is when the punishment will go in place, and I feel like that is just
So
bullying. That is
mean.
so fucked up. Hey, we know
That's
you're
so
getting
dumb.
relegated, So the second you get relegated, we're just gonna fucking kick you in the groin even more. They cannot get a W either on the pitch or off of it. It is a tough time to be a Blade over there. We get into now our rest of our headlines, and one of that is what we talked about earlier. We did our fraud watch. We mentioned Chelsea as well. Chelsea, Nick, you can run us through the detail here. They have sold a hotel to get out of their FIFA financial fair play. Is that correct?
That's like the extent of what I know. I need to read it a little bit closer. But yes, Chelsea Football Club owned a couple of hotels, and they sold it to one of Todd Bowley's many companies for like $70 million. And it's just been cleared by the whatever regulation board that says it's good. So I I don't know how people can look at this and think it's not corrupt. I don't know how people can look at the 115 charges. I don't know how people can look at this. Like, it's money talks in this world, and Todd Bowley's got a lot of it. Unfortunately, his team is also shit, so it's not really going to do much aside of avoid point deductions. But yeah, it is absolutely insane that he's going to be able to get away with this here.
Hey, say what you will about Todd Bowley. He understands the rules and exactly what schemy and ridiculous things he can get away with.
Everton can learn something here. Get themselves out of trouble. Sell a few of our motels. We don't quite have hotels, but we have the next best thing. So anybody on the market, we'll sell you for a nice price.
Yeah, let's buy one and then sell it off for 10 times profit. All of a sudden, get rid of that issue, and we can build our stadium in some peace. God damn it! We have Leverkusen has won the Bundesliga. They are still unbeaten. And I want to just go through their Twitter here because the pictures that they are posting, the just absolute scenes of this championship is ridiculous. Just keep scrolling through here and go down to a certain point. This picture, Jeremy Frimpong, is, I mean, all the fans rush the stadium. This is their first Bundesliga title in 150 years, breaks an 11-year streak by Bayern Munich. And if you continue to scroll down, Palmer, you'll see some of the scenes that it is just amazing. The amount of fans that go out onto the field, celebrate this title with the players. One of the biggest things about Germany that sets it apart from other teams in Europe is that there is not big owners that are just rich and buying players. It is a community, fan-driven teams. That's why they hate RB Leipzig so much, is because it is corporately owned. That makes the titles so much more special. Xabi Alonso, 18 months in the job, comes in, wins a championship. Harry Kane comes to Bayern Munich and does not get a trophy. This is like the first time in 14, 15 years that Bayern Munich does not win a trophy. It is when Harry Kane comes over. Granit Xhaka, former gunner there, gets his title over there. Just amazing scenes all around. And World War III is about to break out. Also a headline. So we will be tracking that and see what sanctions are placed on Everton from that. See how many points they get taken off for their place in how that is.
For
God
Leverkusen,
damn it, they got us again.
That's a great
team
picture.
once known as Neverkusen. 2 trophies this year, potential to win a treble. I would think they're the favorite with Liverpool collapsing, and they took care of business against West Ham this week. So season's not over yet, but wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I hope they stay undefeated, but the amount that they're partying today, like, next week might be the time to get them.
Might be rough.
whoever Leverkusen has up next week, like, you are the only hope to avoid a complete domination by Leverkusen this year. Shout out to Granit Xhaka, a leader, a hell of a player, and now a champion in Bundesliga. So something good did come out of today. Shout out to the boy for lifting that trophy and scoring a worldie.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. That is great with football and who wins trophies and all that. This is what Manchester City takes away from all this, is that you don't have teams with an amazing manager and players that play above their abilities, that rise to the occasion, that can do something like this. You just have Manchester City, and they are inevitable. I mean, it's just it makes you happy to see something like this. Bayer Leverkusen, first Bundesliga title in 150 years. There's nothing better than scenes like that rushing the field. The beer showers all over. Oh, to be a Bayer Leverkusen fan at this moment would be the absolute best. That feeling of your
I'm
club
declaring my
winning it like that.
fandom right now. I'm a Leverkusen
Yeah.
fan. It feels amazing.
I'm glad you got in early here, so you're not just a bandwagoner there. But
Thanks.
I'm sure I'll check in with you once Xabi Alonso leaves the club, see where your German allegiances lie there. But we do get into the U.S. men's national team corner here, and we start in the second division of Italy with Tanner Tessman, who gets not just one goal, but 2 goals for Venezia, and they are now in third place, just outside of that automatic position for promotion to Serie A. So Venezia coming down the stretch with, I believe, 4 more games left, have a chance of getting promoted. They're automatically going to be in that promotion playoff there for Serie B. So Busio, as well as Tessman with his brace, helping out with that Venice-based squad with those beautiful jerseys, find their way back up to the Serie A. Malik Tillman, another goal for PSV. He continues to just absolutely load up on goals and assists. It was from a Serginho Dest cross as well. He does not get the assist as it was deflected by a defender, but all starts from a Serginho Dest cross. Serginho, always saucy. And then the moment that we have been waiting for, the moment that I woke up and I saw that our baby boy, Gio Reyna, was starting for Nottingham Forest. He was just an absolute sniper from the corners, sniped a corner into Morgan Gibbs White's head. An absolute banger of a corner, some would say. Absolutely changed the game. Some would say he was Messi-esque. But regardless of all that, a start for Gio Reyna, and he looked good. He gave them some control on the ball. He seemed that he was getting to the center where he looked pretty good, was able to create, play some good passes. Mike, how much of a step is just a start and looking good? Obviously, the assist from a corner, I think, is maybe not something that's, oh my God, he played an amazing ball from the corner. I don't think that necessarily earns you minutes, but the good play certainly does. How much of a step is this from Gio from maybe 10, 15 minutes off the bench, not it being on the squad, to now you're starting and you're playing well down the stretch in a very important game?
It's a huge leap. We talked about some possible issues, tricky situations on fitting him in with Morgan Gibbs White in the middle, but they seem to handle that pretty well. There's a lot of interchange movement between the two of them, drifting in and out of the center. We saw Gio deeper at times. Took him a little bit to kind of catch up to the speed of the game, I thought, but he did adjust well. He was getting into tackles. His physicality seemed to be just fine. And overall, I was pretty impressed. He took a number of shots that I thought he should take. That shows confidence. Just off, thought he could have had a goal. And the biggest thing I saw was when they sub him off, when they brought on Divock Origi, the attack went to shit. Origi was terrible. He couldn't play a pass to save his life. He wasn't clinical whatsoever, and their whole form dipped. It forced Gibbs White to create a whole lot more. So I expect him to start more. I like what I saw, and I think the future is bright. Probably not past this season at Nottingham Forest, I'd imagine, but as a player, this should get some intrigue.
Yeah, I think that might be what Nuno sees as well, is that a Divock Origi, while he has that experience, lacks really any type of form, touch, composure at the moment. He is certainly a bit astray and has not had many minutes to have any of that form, but is not the same player as Gio Reyna, where you can somewhat calm the game down a bit and work your offense a bit. So I think with the comparison that you obviously saw, it allows Gio to potentially get some more minutes here. But that is really it for our U.S. men's national team corner. Musa did almost get an assist. I guess, yeah, he got it. 3-3. That game ends. AC Milan versus Sassuolo. Pulisic not starting that one. He comes on late. He does have a big game coming up against Roma in the midweek after they lost their first leg of that Europa League clash. But Nick, I will hand it over to you so we can close this one out. I know this is a tough day for you, but any parting thoughts for our listeners here?
Really, I want to be done. I'm not gonna miss podcast. We'll keep it positive. Shout out to Granit Xhaka for winning the title. Shout out to Scotty Scheffler for the Masters. And I really hope we don't get drafted to World War III. So that's all for me.
Good. I do emphasize all those points with you. Good job. A very agreeable statement. Mike, as you do so eloquently, leave us off with some wisdom here.
Shout out Max Holloway. Bad man.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Put Justin Gaethje on his ass.
Dude,
Won
straight
that
up
fight
though.
easy. Last 5 seconds. You know what? I'm going to end it like a real man. Meet me in the middle. Let's swing it out. And he drops him like a sack of potatoes. The man saw God. And
Props
God
to
looked like
Gaethje,
Max
though.
Holloway.
He fought 4 more rounds
Sure
with
hope
that
not.
broken ass nose. That shit must have hurt so bad.
Yeah. That was overall great fight. Pereira took care of business as well. Up the Blues tomorrow, the real Blues, the Toffees. We're going to take care of business. Feels like a bleak moment with the Premier League race winding down, but there's a glimmer of hope. And God, I hope one of those red teams figures it out, finds a way to get it done, because I don't want to see Man City carry that trophy another time. But that's for another episode. Thanks for joining. Check us out on all socials. And drop some comments. Let us know if City's getting it done or still some songs left to sing.
There's no hope. Shut up. End the podcast.
They're walking alone. We will see you next time. Peace.